Welcome to the first Oklahoma Sports Scene show for the month of October. Hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln, along with Gil Cloud, the TPS Hall of Fame Athletic Director. And Coach, a busy lineup here. My gosh, hockey's getting underway, basketball's getting underway, and of course, football.
You know, it seems like it was just the other day that we were sending Rob Murray home.
That's
and
right.
Now he's back, and practice is getting ready to start and everything.
Yeah.
And we're excited about the Ice Holders. I think they'll have a great year this year. We know he knows how to coach.
He does indeed. He'll be one of our special guests on the show, along with Loren Montgomery, the Bixby High School football coach. There may not be a better high school football team, no matter what the class is, in this state.
I really think that Bixby has no challenge in 6A2.
Right.
And Booker T is there, and they have a good football team. But just looking at what Bixby has accomplished so far, going into Jinx and whipping Jinx like they did, traditional rival for them and so on. But and I tell you, there'll be some things we'll want to talk about with Loren because of maybe some movement in the ADM that they may be moving to 6A1.
That's right.
So.
Also, really looking forward to having this gentleman on. He's a renowned outdoor writer with the Tulsa Royal, Kelley Bostian, and he's going to talk to us about a lot of big seasons opening up for a few hunters, and fishing also going to be one of the topics. So Kelley Bostian, Tulsa Royal outdoor writer, is going to be joining us. We'll have our Here Comes Bullet feature. You're going to like this about the OSU mascot Bullet, and a Remington race report that'll wrap up the great Oklahoma Derby weekend they just had. Well, Coach, football, Oklahoma 55, Texas Tech 16.
I think going in, a lot of people said, now this could be a trap for Oklahoma, because they think that Tech can move the football. I was really, really impressed for the first time in maybe 3 or 4 years about how the defense played. They played with some anger.
Yeah.
They played with some intensity at the point of attack. And I really think that they were a deciding factor early on. And I read one clip about when they had the pass interference play with C.D. Lamb and Coach Riley got all upset.
He did. He went after
him. And that just fired the defense up even more. So I think the defense is ready to play.
Michael Knight was there on the sweltering hot sidelines watching all the action of OU Texas Tech. Let's take a look at his feature report.
Great conference opening team win today. Appreciate our fan base, responding to the being here for the 11 a.m. kick. We get that that's part of it, and thought it was really a tremendous atmosphere in our stadium. Thought our fans really responded, and that meant a lot to our guys. I promise you. Just starting that way, and just another way for us to separate ourselves in the program. So thank you to those guys. I would also I want to just send out our condolences, our thoughts to the family of Taco Collins at the Big 12. Has always been a great supporter, someone that's taken care of our program for a long time. Lost his battle here this weekend, but we're certainly thinking about him and his family. And also meant to say it at the press conference on Monday, but similar feeling towards E.J. Hall at Texas Tech. E.J. was somebody I got to know during my time there. Was thankful for every minute I got to spend with him. A guy that players now think they're tough, and a lot of them are, but the guy played both ways in professional football. I think he had the world record for knee surgeries at one point. Just a heck of a man, and I know not just the Texas Tech community, all of us that have been there, but really football in general. They lost a giant in our game, so I'm certainly thinking about him and their family. Happy about the win. Guys played hard. Really, I think we're playing a little bit faster on all three sides, continuing to grow in some areas. Had some guys that had to step up for us in some key positions and did that, and got off to another great start and had some tremendous momentum. Extremely happy with some of the effort plays. One of the plays that sticks out the most to me was Delaren Turner-Yell running down the back that looked like it's going to be a touchdown. And then we find a way defensively to stop them and hold them to a field goal. That was just a huge series of events. And then getting the stop there defensively, fielding the punt, and then being able to drive that thing down, have a couple shots in the end zone, and Gabe Burkich, who was tremendous today, knocking the field goal through there at the end of the half was just another jolt that was awesome. So some great moments, a lot to get better at. We'll be excited to go play Kansas next week.
And Chris, Oklahoma State had a big win against
4-1
K-State,
now,
and had an undefeated K-State team coming in here, and everybody thought this would be a good game. And I'm going to address this in my parting shot about why it was not on television. But I think we have, don't we have some film clip of this?
We do. Thomas Walkinsnick was there, and of course there's a lot of tributes to T. Boone Pickens before the game and during the game. And then of course, Jabba Hubbard, their guy from Canada, has been running wild. He's put himself in the Heisman race, it looks like. Let's take a look at Thomas's report.
really proud of our defense and how physical they were and their ability to stop the run. Kansas State is a very well-coached team, very physical, very senior-dominated up front. And we challenged our team on both sides of the ball, and they answered the challenge. We were able to stop them and force them into a passing situation, and then able to rush the ball on offense when we needed to rush the football. We made some mistakes we need to clean up. Spencer needs to do a little bit better job of when he's scrambling and take off and run instead of throwing across his body. He's still young, so he's making adjustments. But overall, it was a very good win for us against a very physical team, and enjoy this one tonight and get back to work tomorrow.
And how about that Chuba Hubbard, Coach? 938 yards already through 5 games. He'll go over 1,000 yards, become the 16th Cowboy to go over 1,000 yards in a season. It's just a halfway mark.
I tell you, he was impressive.
Oh, man.
The one he ripped off 84 yards
Yeah.
was really, I mean, his speed, he was pulling away from the defensive backs. And you think defensive backs supposed to be pretty quick. So you talk about a quality running back. Man, he is a quality running back.
Third time in 5 games he's gone over 200 yards, so he'll be running wild, I'm sure, this week. And they're down in Lubbock, Texas. 11 a.m. kickoff against Texas Tech. Poor Tech's got to face the other Oklahoma school this weekend. Texas A&M, Arkansas. I tell you, the Hogs showed some life. They lost 31-27, but they played better down at AT&T.
Playing better, and boy, for their coach, they better play better because it's getting tense over in Arkansas right now.
They're going to have a bye week, and nobody needs it more than Arkansas coming up. Tulsa had a bye week this past week. Now they go down to SMU. Who would have thought the Mustangs would be 5-0, and right now the class of the American Athletic Conference.
Never, and I think anybody's inclination would SMU be so far back from where they were. And, impressive wins, scoring a lot of points and playing good defense. So it'll be a test, but I think Tulsa might be on par or a little bit above where SMU is. I think the Wyoming game showed that they had a lot of tenacity to come back, and I'm excited for them. I think they have a good shot down in
One of the nation's best defense, 6:30 p.m. kickoff at down in Dallas, and it's on ESPNU. The start of American Athletic Conference play for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. NFL, well, Kansas City, Mahomes does his thing. They beat Detroit 34-30. Cleveland, hey, Baker Mayfield and the Browns came to life. They thumped Baltimore in Baltimore 40-25.
That's a big win in Baltimore, I'm going to tell you. That's a big win, and he threw the ball well and scored a touchdown, So, I mean, their defense didn't play early as well as I thought they would, but they came on late and played.
Kyler Murray had another tough game with the Arizona team that has no offensive line. They lost to Seattle 27-10. Kyler was 241 yards passing, had 1 rushing touchdown. And Sunday Night Football, disappointing for Dallas Cowboy fans. They had their first loss of the season, losing down in New Orleans 12-10, and New Orleans didn't even score a touchdown.
It was amazing, really, and we talked about it earlier, Chris, some of the officiating. And I know the coaches can't talk about it. We can.
Yeah.
They can't find me.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine the number of offensive pass interference calls in that ball game. And then you look at New Orleans, and they had 9 penalties for over 100 yards. So, it's don't take the game away from the players.
That's right. Roughnecks have 2 home matches coming up in October. October 5th, Sacramento Republic at 7 p.m. October 12th, New Mexico United, also 7 p.m. kickoff there. They finished their road trips now. They had a 1-1 draw at Tacoma there over the past weekend. They're now last 6 matches, though, 3-1-2. So Roughnecks showing some improvement at the end of the year here. And the Oklahoma City Thunder on this past Monday had their media day, Coach, and Thunder basketball getting ready to get underway.
Boy, a lot of new faces, it looks like.
Oh, a lot, yes.
A lot of new faces, and it's going to be interesting. You hear the conjecture all over the state about what are they trying to do? What is Sam Presti trying to do? He loses 2 great players.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to build back, I think, from where they started. And I think that's what he's trying to do. Let's just build it back slowly and be competitive.
We'll try to get some sound from the Thunder for you for our show coming up next week. And of course, it is a brand new Thunder team, it looks like, because gone, of course, the big guys. But Thunder tip off the preseason right here in Tulsa. That'll be October the 8th against the Dallas Mavericks. Start the season on the road at Utah, October 23rd. Home opener is October 25th. Major League Baseball, Coach, Division Best of 5 series. Then the Championship League Series starts October 11th. The World Series October 22nd.
You know, it should be exciting. There's some, 3 or 4 teams that won over 100 games this year.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're looking Los Angeles and the
Yankees.
The Yankees,
Yeah.
but our coach, Scott Hennessy, says,
That's right.
watch out for Houston.
That's
They're
right.
awful tough in the bullpen.
Dodgers, by the way, finished with the best record in baseball, 106-56 for the regular season. All right, here comes Bullet next on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
Cheers.
All right, y'all, how's everything tasting?
That is awesome.
I come bearing gifts of the liquid variety.
Bricktown Brewery. Come and get it.
Whether it's a wedding, birthday, family reunion, or company event, give your next big event a unique country feel at our Red Barn Event Center located just north of Tulsa. We feature plenty of party room inside and out for up to 350 guests, a huge open floor space, and even a big stage. The Red Barn features a full kitchen, separate bride and groom dressing areas. Outside weddings are beautiful under our 100-year-old pecan tree. For your next big event, with a do-it-yourself wedding, the Red Barn Event Center is the perfect choice. Booking now for future events.
Hey Mo, have you seen the MDX? I'm pretty sure it was in the showroom when I left yesterday.
No, sorry, Jen. I haven't seen it.
Are you positive you haven't seen it?
Hey, Mo, I went ahead and pulled the MDX back up on the showroom for it. Oh, hey, Jen.
Haven't seen it, huh?
Since 1984, it's been a proud tradition of Oklahoma State University. It's the Spirit Rider and Bullet.
Well, I tell you what, you talk about enlightening the crowd up.
Oh, yes.
I mean, when Bullet comes out, of course, it's after the Cowboys have scored, so everybody's excited.
Right. American Quarter Horse Black Gelding. By the way, KTO TV Channel 8, my old station, was nice enough to share their close-up feature on Bullet, written and produced by Mason Walvogel with the reporter Angelica Brown. Enjoy Bullet.
You can have any kind of conversation with any horse. There's like another little friend that you've got.
Except this horse is more than a friend, he's an icon.
Here comes Bullet!
Oklahoma State's beloved mascot calls Tulsa's Stone Ridge Ranch home, and so does 10-year-old Fallon Cunningham.
This is the new Bullet.
She helps take care of him, and this new friend is new to the ranch. It's a family affair. On this Friday night, Jennifer Cunningham's 2 youngest are getting this horse ready for his big reveal.
They've never known life any different in the fall. Life in the fall revolves around cowboy football. And they know that they have the rock star that they get to bring to the stadium every home game.
A rock star that's about to make his debut. Black Highbrows, or just Bullet as he's known now, was bought by OSU late this summer. His predecessor lives in the stall across the barn and ran his final run last year.
We've looked for a long time for a replacement, and we never thought that we'd find one as good as the one we just retired. He's been a part of our family for 14 years.
Hi, Pa. Love you.
Hi, baby. Where are you going? Are you going to a birthday party?
Yeah, it's at like 5.
And it's more than just her daughters. Next door, Jennifer's parents. Ernie and Wilma own the ranch, keeping watch over the horses. They had a hand in choosing the new one, but not just any.
Yeah, so it was like finding a needle in a haystack.
Will do. This search ended in Texas, and they're fine.
And this horse, when I got the photographs from his owner, I just had a really great feeling that this horse was going to be the one.
Wasn't for sale. It took some convincing, but this was the horse.
He's just so mild-mannered and calm. And then riding him and my kids being around him, he has the personality to do this job.
A horse trained to run across a football field, and tomorrow he'll do it in front of 60,000.
I think he's going to maybe be a little confused at first and kind of looking around and wondering, where am I and what is happening? Because there's not dirt, there's not an arena. That's what he's used to.
Bullet and his team of student caregivers have been practicing for game day, running through band next to dancing pom girls, and let these guys get a little too close for comfort. Though they've practiced, there's a lot of unknowns come morning.
Hey!
Saturday, it's game day in cowboy country.
Cowboys!
A dusty drive from tailgating, Bullet meets the Spirit Rider team. He's brushed, saddled, and his hooves are painted black. And then it's off to campus.
Hey, good job. You're welcome.
At the Alumni Center, children line up to meet and take pictures with the famous horse. Usually everyone gets their chance, but Bullet has other ideas.
Hi, everyone. I'm so sorry. Bullet's still acting up, so please come back at the next game. Is that okay? Sorry, everyone.
So it's back in the trailer and into this custom stall inside Boone Pickens Stadium.
He's been awesome. I mean, I don't think we could have asked for a better day. He was a little antsy at pictures, like I said, but once we got down here, he's calm, cool, and collected.
And that's what Spirit Rider Harley Huff wants before the big run. All the riding, all the practice leads to this one moment.
With OSU Spirit Rider Harley Huff, here comes Bullet!
Good boy. Thank you. I mean, I don't think I could have asked for a better run through the band.
One ride down.
I think I blacked out when I was out there. It was like I knew I was going out there, and then I knew when I was done, but everything in between is a little blurry.
And if history tells us anything,
Down Cowboys!
there will be many more to come.
Here comes Bullet!
The service is amazing.
Food's delicious.
I love the avocado fries.
I love the energy.
Local beer, great food, truly friendly service.
Look all right for you?
Bricktown Brewery, come and get it.
Each week we talk about the GTR, and we know for a fact that Forrest Cameron and his wife Sharon put out a tremendous paper. Well, I brought all 6 of them today. I'd like for you to see them. The Union Boundary, and here is the Owasso Rambler. And if you live in Bixby, how about the Bixby Breeze or Broken Arrow, the Broken Arrow Express, Jinx, District Gazette, and then of course the Tulsa Midtown. All of those, the GTR. If you haven't had an opportunity to read one, do it, and you'll be proud of it.
Well, it's October. That means it's hockey time. And again, our head coach here, Rob Murray's done such a great job with the Oilers. Comes here to give us kind of a look at the 2019-20 season. Coach, congratulations on a championship season last year.
Yeah, we had a great year. It was talking to somebody last night. We had a team event, and it wasn't the playoff run was one thing, but I think just the whole body of work that we put in throughout the season was incredible, and a great group of guys. And we did very well. Going 7 games in the conference final against Toledo, but overall, I think that it was a very successful year, and obviously like to maybe push it a little bit further this year, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, then the accolades came your way: General Manager of the Year and runner-up to Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I think we have a coach's poll at the end of the season, about a month left in the season, and we all vote on that throughout the league. So it's voted on my peers, and it was very rewarding to be voted that. I won the Coach of the Year my first year when I was in Alaska, and I've been runner-up a couple times since. But it's not really what I guess. It's nice. It's rewarding. The GM of the Year, I think. We were talking off air where it's more of a hockey operations thing. Like I'm not the GM is Taylor Hall, but I take care of all the hockey operations, and he takes care of all the other stuff. So, but winning that was pretty cool. Again, voted on by my peers, so that was good.
That's great.
Coach Rob Murray, it's being his 3rd season coach here, and what a great way to start. That we have 8 of our first 11 games on home ice at the BOK Center.
Yeah, last year I think. If I remember right, I think the first 8 games were at home. The season before it was flip-flopped. We started 1 game home, and then we were on the road for quite a while. And I think I sat here last year about this time, and and you guys were talking about the 8 games at home, and I said, well, I'll let you know after 8 games if it was good or not. So, it can be, again, it really worked out for us well last year. I think we went, 5-1-2 or something like that in those games, and kind of got a good jump start on the season. We took care of home ice advantage at that time, but it could swing either way. But again, it's the onus is on us to take care of business at home.
Yeah. Tell us about some new faces on the team this year.
Well, we got two brothers that I brought in out of Boston, Danny Moynihan and Connor Moynihan, who I think that I had Danny his rookie year in Alaska when I was there. He's a very skilled centerman, very good that his rookie year. He sat out the whole last of last year. He had a situation where he passed out during the summer, and they actually told him that he'd never play hockey again. And he went and saw a lot of specialists during the season, and I got talking to his brother, believe it or not. I was trying to recruit Connor, his brother, and he said, do you know that Danny wants to play again? And I said, really? And so I got in touch with Danny, and he's been cleared by the doctors. It wasn't what they thought it was, and it's very manageable, whatever he has. So really happy to have those two guys. One, Connor's a big, strong power forward, skates very well. Danny's more of a skilled centerman. Really kind of like Jared Thomas was for us last year. So that'll be great to see. A couple of new faces on defense. We had a goaltender come down from the American Hockey League today, a Swedish kid named Ek, Eriksson Ek is his last name, Ole, and I think that he'll be a very good goaltender for us. And with all the returning guys that we have too, we got a very good nucleus of what we had from last season re-signed, and so I think that more than anything, I think we can hit the ground running. There's not so much teaching involved with the group because there's so much familiarity with what we want to get accomplished.
Coach Murray, Tulsa had to be excited too to be involved in the parent club, the St. Louis Blues, the Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah, that was especially. What a story. Last place at Christmas.
Yeah,
they make a coaching change and get as far as they did and to win the Stanley Cup. A really remarkable story. It'll be it's one of those things that'll be on 30 for 30 on ESPN years from now. Documented how that all happened. So. It's exciting. We're going to have the Stanley Cup here on opening night.
That's right. That'd be great, yeah.
And so, great opportunity for fans to get their picture taken with the Stanley Cup and stuff like that. But I think it's all a trickle down, and when your parent club, the team that you're affiliated with, wins the championship, I think you can piggyback on that quite a bit and take advantage of it.
That puts you out there available to players who kind of have a relationship, understand the Stanley Cup and farm team and so on. I want to be there. I want to be at Tulsa.
Well, I think there's a certain amount of that. Obviously joining an organization that's with the Stanley Cup and as well as we did last year too. So I think those two things are obviously play a role in recruiting during the summertime.
You bet.
Love the fact that you want your hockey coach to be tough, right? Look at Coach Murray's bio here. I love this part here. Bench boss, played 107 career NHL games, and also he ranks second all-time, Coach, American Hockey League penalty minutes. Well done, Coach.
Yeah, funny enough is when I actually set the record, and it had stood for like 30 years in the American Hockey League. And so I finally surpassed the guy that was holding it for as long as he was. And then I think I was retired for a year or two, and somebody else passed me. So hopefully I can hang on to second place. It was well deserved and hard fought for. So
congratulations. Also, American Hockey League, by the way, Hall of Famer, inducted in 2017. So a lot planned, I'm sure, for opening weekend. Again, it's going to be fantastic. It all starts on October the 11th, a 7 p.m. game. They'll take on Kansas City here. Then we'll have coming up in the opening week, continues October the 12th. Allen, both those at 7:05, and Sunday an afternoon game with Rapid City at 4:05. So, Coach, off to a great job. Looks like fans got to be excited and looking for a big year.
Yeah, and again, I think we really really got the energy of hockey in the city going for as well as we did last year in the playoffs, deep playoff run, and we're looking to do the same thing again this year.
How can people get tickets?
Yeah.
Zach Reynolds should be on top of that. Obviously through our website and through Ticketmaster and I don't know. That's not part of my job.
You're the general manager.
I know, general manager. I should know this stuff.
What's your other's phone number, Zach?
918-632-7825.
632-7825, 91 area code. Get your tickets for Oilers hockey. Going to be a great 2019-20 season. Again, Coach Ray, congratulations again. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, bud.
Thanks for having me again.
Good luck.
All right, man.
You bet.
We'll come back, talk Bixby High School football with Loren Montgomery. Stay with us.
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
We make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
Winston, tie or bow tie? Good choice.
Sammy, they're here.
Good morning, welcome to the...
Come on, you guys. What did you think they were here for?
Well?
It's the Honda Summer Spectacular Sales Event going on now at Don Carlton Honda.
The Eschbach 6E Ranch on 800 acres north of Tulsa invites you to know the benefits of miniature Herefords. The 6E has always been committed to providing the finest quality meats. Our hormone-free beef is always on grass, then grain-fed the last 90 days to that perfect mix of marbling and taste. We will deliver the animal to a USDA-inspected facility. All you have to do is pick up your vacuum-packed processed meat. Fill your freezer with the finest quality beef at the best price. We also specialize in registered miniature Herefords for breeding and show. Call the 6E Ranch today.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Sports Scene, and now we have a special guest, the head football coach of the Bixby Spartans, Loren Montgomery, and the defending 6A2 state champions and #1 in the state.
Pleasure to be here. I appreciate you guys having us.
You bet.
Is that really true? It's your 10th season, Coach? Is that possible? Wow.
10th season, and those are coach years, so they're similar to dog years, so I think it feels like about 80.
Yeah. Well, you had some good background. Certainly Jenks a big part of that too, and Coach Alan Trumbull.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Coach Trumbull gave me my first opportunity, has been a mentor, still a great friend of mine, and I appreciate everything he's done for football in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. 4 state championships, 1 runner-up title, and a lot of people, Coach, have told us, we've been watching some of the scores throughout the early season here, that Bixby may be the best football team, Coach, in the entire state, regardless of class.
Well, I mean, none of that really matters to what we're trying to do. We're trying to win a game Friday night against Booker T and put ourselves in the best possible scenario going into the playoffs.
That's a huge game,
Yeah.
obviously for the district, probably for the district championship, I would think, because if you win that one, then you can move on. And if you lose that one, you got to fight to get back. And I think 2 good football teams. Looking forward to that matchup. So how do you think that you have maintained through this time this dominance in 6A1?
Well, #1, we've had some really good players, and #2, we've got some really good coaches, and we've had some continuity with our staff. Our offensive coordinator, Tyler Schneider, he's been with us now for nine of my 10 seasons. Coach Douglas, our linebackers coach, has been with us all 10 years. Rodney Flowers, our defense coordinator, has been with us about 8 years. And so anytime you're in football, getting to know the kids, getting to know the school system, continuity is a critical piece. And just the community of Bixby has made a big commitment to supporting our kids, supporting athletics. In fact, one of the things that we've done out there is we built strength and conditioning into the school day. So no matter what sport a kid goes to after football, they're continuing to lift weights year round. And just the numbers and the difference it's made, not only in the weight room, but also the relationships that our coaches are building with the kids year round have made a big difference.
Bixby 4-0 after opening district play by crushing Sapulpa 54-10. The first loss this season, by the way, for Sapulpa. And again, led by that outstanding quarterback, Mason Williams. Talk about some of the key players on this Bixby Spartan football team.
Well, as you mentioned, Mason Williams, a junior quarterback for us, started last year as a sophomore, is off to a very good start. Has thrown one interception, and I can't tell you how many touchdowns. Had his first interception the other night, but he's cool, calm, and collected, and has a little bit better grasp of our offense. We've got Brennan Presley, who, I think might be the best player in the state. He's very, very talented and an even better kid. I know you guys have visited with him before. And then also just a lot of other program kids that have been in our program for a long time, and it means a lot too.
Well, let's talk about this. I mean, we know we're juggling the ADM numbers. It appears Oklahoma City had 2 schools that came back in the fold, and then 2 schools that closed, and that was going to move some people around Oklahoma City, which made the ADM different. So it appears that you're sitting at 17 right now, which would mean you would move up into 6A1 if you moved up. How do you feel about that?
Well, I tell you what, we're in a lot better position to move up than we were back in 2010 when I took the job and we were the smallest school in 6A. We've got some things in place. No doubt, when you're playing a Broken Arrow or Union with over 5,000 students, there's just a big difference. Even if we are up to 1,800, right. They're nearly 3 times larger than us. But we're in a position that we feel we can compete in 6A1, and our program's strong and healthy if that is the case come October 1st or whenever those numbers come out.
Looking at him now, hard to believe. Look at a former NSU star offensive lineman, right? 4-year starter for NSU and Tahlequah.
Do you think you'd play today in the offensive line at NSU?
No, not at 215 pounds, I assure you. So, and I could barely play back when I played. So I was just fortunate enough to kind of hang on.
He's part of that 1999 Division II semifinal team, right?
We went all the way to Carson Newman, and it was quite a run.
It was fun, and every time I see, I mention that you've got that conference championship ring on, which means a lot to myself and a lot of guys that were together.
That was an interesting bunch of kiddos that we made that transition to Division II. We had some seniors the year before that literally couldn't compete for anything because you have to sit out as a probationary school.
Oh.
And so they made the commitment. And then the first year that we're eligible to go to the playoffs in football, we go to the Final Four. And, it was really interesting. One of the great games was out at Cal Davis. I told the story before, but at Cal Davis, they have 25,000 students.
Oh,
I mean, it's a big school, and they since have gone Division I AA. But so we're in the meeting on Friday night before the game, and we're walking out. Coach Eckert and I are walking down the hall, and the AD is with the assistant AD walking in front of us. And he tells the assistant AD, he doesn't know we're behind him, said, "Now we need to get that Carson Newman number so we know where we play next week."
Oh. All right.
We scored in the first 7 seconds of the game. They dropped the kickoff,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I think Beauchamp or somebody ran it in for the touchdown.
Right.
And so after the game, I'm running across the field because Tom didn't want to do the post game on the radio. So I went up to do the post game. Assistant AD's come and said, "Hey, do you have that phone number of Carson Newman?"
I love it. Well, some comments on other football in the state here, Coach. Class 2A. Number 2 Metro Christian, going to congratulate them. A 21-20 win over number 4 Adair, ending Adair's 53-game district win streak. Wow.
That's unbelievable. At any level, winning is difficult.
Oh,
and so for Metro to be able to put that together is just a tremendous thing.
And it seems to be a shift in some of the powers up at 6A1. It's hard to imagine. We're looking at Union at 1-3 right now, and Jake's 1-3.
Yeah, no, that's odd. I can't tell you how long it's been since both of those programs have lost on the same night. I think the newspaper said maybe 1980.
Wow.
And, still both very good programs, playing very good football. And I know both of those coaches, and they'll have their guys playing their best football when it's time to go into the playoffs. So I would still have to think that the championship will go through one of those programs.
You're going to be proud of some of your TPS schools, too. Got some really good starts.
Well, Edison is had a great win over at Claremore.
Right.
I mean, their defense just shut them down. And Booker T is there. Central, 4-0.
I know. How about that?
And Michael Case from the Muskogee Phoenix called me after the game. He called me before the game and said, "Did you have a roster?" And I said, "Yeah, let me send it to us." So I sent it to him. After the game, he said, "Hey, that quarterback's a real deal." But he is. He can throw it and run it. And so they've got a chance in 4A.
Coach Loren, how about your chance this Friday night going to Booker T. Washington with the Hornets?
Well, I tell you what, it's always tough to go to S.E. Williams and play, but we've been fortunate enough to have some good games there, and so we're hoping to go and execute. And our fans travel extremely well, and so we're expecting a big crowd there on Friday night. And I know, is it homecoming, Coach?
Yeah,
it's homecoming. So I know there'll be lots of folks out on the Booker T side, so it should be a great environment for football.
The tailgating starts at 4:30 if you want to get there. And if you don't, you can go by Bricktown on us.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Loren Montgomery, head football coach of the reigning 6A2 champions of the state of Oklahoma, undefeated into Booker T this weekend. Back with more Oklahoma Sports Scene. Stay with us.
At Bricktown Brewery, we're known for our famous original craft beers like Single String Stout and Bluesberry Ale. Did you know we also brew our own root beer at our Oklahoma City brew house? It's called Attaboy Root Beer, and you'll love it no matter what your age. Just ask for a Bricktown Kids menu with all the favorites for our guests 12 and under. Bricktown Brewery opens every day at 11 a.m.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Remington Park is now officially open around the clock. That's right, we are 24/7.
We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock tonight.
So when we say the party never ends, you better believe it. Remington Park, now open 24/7.
Robertson Tire has been your local tire expert since 1962. Now at RobertsonTire.com, it's easier than ever to get a customized quote. And with our price match guarantee, you can be sure that you're getting the best price. For more information, visit RobertsonTire.com.
Well, the month of October also means the start of hunting season around the state of Oklahoma. And who better to talk about that than Kelley Bostian, a long-time outdoor writer of the Tulsa World. Kelley, welcome to Oklahoma Sports Scene.
Thanks for having me here.
Give us a little bit of your background now.
Oh, well, I came down to Alaska about 11 years ago. 2008 I got here from Alaska. Made a little switch to warmer weather for my wife. And just been outdoor writing ever since for the Tulsa World. Every Sunday in the sports section.
Yeah, Kelley gets the whole page on Sundays for talking about outdoor and everything from hunting, fishing, everything there. And I guess as we're winding out, you never wind up fishing, of course, but what's the latest in fishing news?
Well, we just finished up a couple of good bass tournaments. There's another one this weekend up on Grand Lake, Costa, FLW Costa, and man, it's those guys. It's a little bit of a grind right now. We're kind of between. We're not really into fall fishing yet. Right. We're not really out of summer fishing yet. But boy, fall fishing's coming up in October. There should be a month that's mid-October to mid-November, and we'll just call that hunting month. that's when it's great.
Well,
when the colors come out, the water gets cold.
We're hoping to get that October weather on Thursday.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the 70s and the 50s at night. But so transitioning from Alaska to Oklahoma, how is that?
Wow.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a change. You know, because I grew up in Iowa. And I left here. I left the lower 48, as we call it, and in 1985. So think back to 1985 and what bass fishing was like back then, and what deer hunting was then.
Sure.
It was hardly anything. I came back here, bass fishing exploded, turkey hunting.
Right.
Yeah, I missed all that stuff. So I've been catching up for the past 10 years and doing good.
Well, you did a good job. My former partner at Winter Communications, Jim Wilburn.
Oh, yeah.
What a job he's done at Major League Fishing.
Oh, Major League Fishing has taken off.
Unbelievable.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
The money there is unbelievable, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the seasons that you're getting away. October 1st, of course.
October 1st.
Deer hunters are excited.
Yesterday, deer hunters are going nuts. It's guys plan all year long to get out there. Yesterday, this weekend probably for a lot of them because season opening on Tuesday. I'm sure there's a bunch of guys that just really aren't concentrating on work real well this week. They're waiting for the weekend to get out there. But of course, in black bear season open too,
really?
and a lot of guys that are on that, they're going to be on it hard those first 5 to 10 days. That's when most of the bear are going to drop, because what's happening in the southeast for those bears and for the deer is the acorns are going to start to fall, those muscadine berries are going to get ripe, and the bears are going to move away from their bait stations. They're going to change their pattern. So a lot of those bears go in the first 10 days of a 20-day archery season.
Oh, that's amazing. I lived in Tahlequah for 6 years, and boy, this week I mean, all you would see was guys and deer hunting, coming in and going out of town. Nobody worked. There was nobody in town at all. But and we made a mistake a couple of years at the university of having homecoming that weekend.
Oh yeah,
not good.
not
a good deal. But it's big, and I think it's fantastic. I've been a few times with my son. He's more of a hunter than I am. But so, how is hunting in Oklahoma?
It's great and getting better all the time. Oklahoma's really getting to be known as a trophy state for whitetails, especially. In the past 3 years, we had a pretty tough time during the drought. Things were a little sparse and hunting was hard. We had some tough seasons with bad weather. The past 3 seasons, we've steadily increased. I think our statewide total harvest went from about 98,000 2 years ago to 106, and then 108,000 last year. Our all-time record was back in, was ways back, but it was 126. So we're getting back up there to that record range, and more quality bucks are going down every year. And a lot of that is guys they're catching on to the game, and they're learning how to let bucks grow older. And a lot of that's technology too. The technology of trail cameras has come leaps and bounds in the past decade.
I was fascinated reading your article, Kelley, and didn't realize how much goes into hunting. You
Absolutely.
Show up there and
Sure.
These cameras, they talk about that, getting ready
Most
for
of these
hunt.
guys I talk to, and a lot of these guys that get the biggest bucks that I end up writing about, they'll talk about, I've been watching this buck for 5 years. I've been watching this buck for 6 years.
Yeah.
And now, one of these guys I wrote about last year, he manages a ranch in southeast Oklahoma. He said, now I'm on this ranch. He's on this ranch. It's 6,000 acres, but he's out there every day, but he doesn't see the bucks. He's got trail cameras, and they're hooked with cell phone reception. And he's watching 24 different trail cameras, and he says, I'm seeing all these incredible bucks out here in the woods that when you're out here walking around or trying to scout with binoculars or look, you don't see them.
How about bird hunting now? Turkey's getting underway, then later on is quail and pheasant?
Turkey's going to be, I don't know about turkey this year. It's going to be a little tough. We'll see what we see because the floods were rough. You're not going to see, a lot of times, that fall harvest is, archery harvest is kind of incidental. Turkeys come along and you aren't seeing any deer, so might as well get Thanksgiving dinner, right? So it's a little tougher with turkeys. We'll just see how they did this spring with the rains coming. I mean, every time I just felt that for those first rains came, the turkeys are probably just good in the ground, and they were nested, and then then they're going to have to recover and re-nest, and then pow, we got nailed again in a lot of parts of the state.
Would that hurt the turkey population?
I don't know if it'll really knock it down big, but a lot of what you get, is those first year birds that aren't real bright, and so you're not going to get a lot. You want that build up, so it might knock it down and might slow hunting.
So if they're
down
smart,
a
they
little bit.
taste better, or what?
Yes. Okay. You tell yourself that anyway.
Yeah, right.
That one you work harder.
We have something you don't do about hunting unless you want to find Bricktown Brewery, right?
Well, you'll find all kinds of meat at Bricktown Brewery.
All times. Oh, there you go. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it.
Looking
Yeah,
forward
thanks
to
for having me
all your
here.
outdoorsmen. Read Kelley Bostian every Sunday in the Tulsa World. He's our outdoor writer coming from Alaska to Oklahoma here, taking good care of us. Thanks, Kelley.
Yeah, thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
And again, the season's underway, so be careful out there as well. Back with more on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Stay with us.
Cheers.
All right, y'all, how's everything tasting?
That is awesome.
I come bearing gifts of the liquid variety.
Bricktown Brewery. Come and get it.
At Robertson Tire, we'll match any deal you find on tires, but customer service remains at the core of our business. That's why we've been voted the very best in all 3 major area publications. Thank you for choosing Robertson Tire for all your auto care needs.
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
we make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
Whether it's a wedding, birthday, family reunion, or company event, give your next big event a unique country feel at our Red Barn Event Center located just north of Tulsa. We feature plenty of party room inside and out for up to 350 guests, a huge open floor space, and even a big stage. The Red Barn features a full kitchen, separate bride and groom dressing areas. Outside weddings are beautiful under our 100-year-old pecan tree. For your next big event, with a do-it-yourself wedding, the Red Barn Event Center is the perfect choice. Booking now for future events. This past Sunday was the biggest day of thoroughbred racing in the state of Oklahoma for the fall meet at Remington Park. Our man Dale Day has the wrap-up.
A huge Oklahoma Derby day is in the books at Remington Park. Hopefully many of you were able to experience the biggest day of the season. The Grade 3 $400,000 event had horses traveling to Oklahoma City via equine air charter. Let's meet some of the key contenders for the big race. Mucho Gusto arrived from California on Thursday and held morning line favorite status. Tax, winner of the Grade 2 Jim Dandy Stakes at Saratoga, came in on Wednesday, as did Owendale, the third place finisher in this year's Preakness Stakes and eventual Ohio Derby winner. Bankett, second in the Springboard Mile here last year, showed up on Wednesday into the barn of trainer Steve Asmussen, where stablemate Long Range Toddy, winner of the Springboard Mile a year ago, had been preparing for the Derby for over a month. Let's pick up the Oklahoma Derby on the backstretch. Gusto now picks it up and is up alongside as they go to the turn. Owendale is rolling 4 wide just outside of Chest Chief. So there's your front 4 with 3 furlongs left. Long Range Toddy getting a nice trip in 5th. 3 lengths back, but has work to do. Funny Guy now 6th. Bankett and Cairo Cat continue to chase. They are 4 from the rail out with a quarter mile to go in the Derby. Sleepy Eyes Todd nose to nose with Mucho Gusto. Chest Chief 3 wide. Owendale 4 wide. Top of the stretch. Race on in the Oklahoma Derby. Owendale comes off the turn best, puts a nose up front. Now Chest Chief, Mucho Gusto, Sleepy Eyes Todd asks for more with a furlong left. It's Owendale there on top by a length. A 16th to go. Owendale starting to pull clear. Mucho Gusto trying to move up at the rail. Sleepy Eyes Todd. Owendale in the Oklahoma Derby by 2. Owendale, despite a wide trip all the way around the turn and into the stretch, had more than enough on their jockey Loren to win the Oklahoma Derby from the outside post position, post number 10. Owendale only the second horse in Derby history to achieve that feat, joining Golden Yank, who also won from the 10 post in 2008. Rupp Racing of Bay City, Michigan, the owners. Brad Cox, the trainer of Owendale. The Grade 3 Oklahoma Derby, his third Grade 3 victory of 2019. He paid $620 for the win. Long shot Sleepy Eyes Todd was second. Number 7, Chest Chief, third. The favorite in the race, Mucho Gusto, number 10, finishes out of the top 3. The Oklahoma Derby to Owendale. The Grade 3 $200,000 Remington Park Oaks was the top undercard race on Oklahoma Derby Day. In that, Lady Apple drew the bulk of the attention for the fillies. Now they fan out a bit, spreading off the rail with a quarter mile left in the Oaks. 6 furlongs, a minute 10.57 seconds. Lady Apple and Santana sweep into the stretch. They have the lead coming off the turn. They're up by a length and a half. Chased by Gold Standard second. Classic Fit has had enough, a furlong to go. And Lady Apple has command, trying to come back along the rail. Gold Standard. Lady Apple and Gold Standard coming close to the wire together. They're at the rail tight. Ahead separates Lady Apple and Gold Standard. And Lady Apple will prevail. Lady Apple, winner of the Fantasy Stakes earlier this year at Oaklawn Park in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and a big third in the Kentucky Oaks. She comes on and wins the Remington Park Oaks for yet another graded score. Phoenix Thoroughbred 3 and Katie Rich Stables of Lexington, Kentucky, the owners. Steve Asmussen, trainer. Ricardo Santana, the winning jockey. For Asmussen and Santana, they had a monstrous Oklahoma Derby day, setting records for most wins on a program. Asmussen with 7 overall, and Santana equaling a record for most wins by a jockey on one card. Oklahoma Breds now get back in the spotlight as we ramp up for the $1 Million Oklahoma Classics night. The top night of the season for the top state breds takes place on Friday night, October 18th. First race will be 7 p.m. At Remington Park in Oklahoma City, I'm Dale Day. Now back to Sports Scene.
As always, live racing, free racing, Wednesday through Saturday at Remington Park. Post time at 7 p.m. Meet running till December the 15th. We'll be back with our parting shots on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Stay right there.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Remington Park is now officially open around the clock. That's right, we are 24/7.
We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock tonight.
So when we say the party never ends, you better believe it. Remington Park, now open 24/7.
Robertson Tire has been your local tire expert since 1962. Now at RobertsonTire.com, it's easier than ever to get a customized quote. And with our price match guarantee, you can be sure that you're getting the best price. For more information, visit RobertsonTire.com.
The Eshbach 6E Ranch on 800 acres north of Tulsa invites you to know the benefits of miniature Herefords. The 6E has always been committed to providing the finest quality meats. Our hormone-free beef is always on grass, then grain-fed the last 90 days to that perfect mix of marbling and taste. We will deliver the animal to a USDA-inspected facility. All you have to do is pick up your vacuum-packed processed meat. Fill your freezer with the finest quality beef at the best price. We also specialize in registered miniature Herefords for breeding and show. Call the 6E Ranch today.
Wrapping things up, time for our parting shots. Coach Cloud, get us going.
Well, I tell you what, I like to watch football on Saturday, college football. Of course, you can watch it any day of the week anymore, I think, because we sold our soul to all of the networks. But how frustrating was it on Saturday when you want to see the OSU K-State game and you can't? Well, you could if you do ESPN Plus. Now, ESPN Plus is an addition that the Big 12 has added this year, and they're going to take up some games in football and some games in basketball. The problem for me is that they'll give you a 7-day free trial, but you need to put your credit card number on there, so after 7 days, they can charge you for that. I don't believe I'm going to do that. I think it's unfair, and I think we continue to find ways to use student athletes, college athletics, to raise money. I think there's a different way to do it, and I hope the networks figure it out.
Milestones that are recognized and celebrated. I want to do just that for the University of Oklahoma's latest milestone. And congratulations, 900 wins for the Oklahoma Sooner program. Saturday's 55-16 rout at Texas Tech was number 900. 900 wins in 125 years of football at the University of Oklahoma. It is a feat accomplished by only 5 other college football programs in the 150-year history of this sport. Leading the way is Michigan. They have 956 wins, but they've done it in 140 years of playing football. Ohio State is next, 916, 130 years. Followed by Texas, 911. Then it's Alabama at 909. Then Oklahoma at 900 with Nebraska and Notre Dame. College football's 900 club. Now that's impressive. All right, our next show, we're going to be looking ahead to OU, Texas. Coach, some special guests to talk about that great Red River rivalry.
It's always a great weekend. Always look forward to Oklahoma, Texas, and it should really this time be a shootout.
And we'll also have some sound from the Oklahoma City Thunder Media Day as we talk about the Thunder season. Again, the Thunder getting ready to come to Tulsa for their first preseason game on October the 8th. Glad to be with us on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Be sure to join us next week for a very special OU Texas preview. See you then.